Hello everyone. Uh, Today we're going to revise some questions based on write a program for visual programming, March, April 2024. This is Diploma in Information Communication Technology, visual programming. Some people call it visual basic programming. So I'll be handling some few questions on writing a program. So I will begin with question 1, but part D. It says, write a visual basic program that uses a sub-procedure to declare an array consisting of 5 numbers, accepts the numbers through the input box, and displays them in a list box. The sub-procedure should be executed when a command button is clicked. So I'll be actually creating this program in Visual Studio 6.0. So I will search it, Microsoft. I already have it installed. So Microsoft Visual Studio 6.0, it is here. So I will open it. It is starting. Yeah, I'm here. So we're being told that the program should, the sub-procedure should be executed when a command button is clicked. So therefore, actually, when we write program, we begin from the end. So the end says a command button. So we need to have a command button in our design. So we'll come here in this toolbox. So I'll come to the toolbox here. I will pick a command button, and in the command button, I will click. I'll put a button. I can give the name of the button in this is a properties window here. I will give the name of the button. I can give it the name begin, and then I can give it a caption, begin to begin. So this is the caption. Okay, I don't want to decorate the button, so let it just be like this. Now, whenever the values are added, they are sent to the list box. So we need a list box. So here is a list box, this one. If I put a cursor, you can see it is a list box. I take it and I can draw it here. Yeah, so here is my list box. So up to this point, when I run, the application looks like this. We have a button and then you have a list box. The list box will contain the numbers. So let me end and read the question again. So write a Visual Basic program that uses a sub procedure. So where is the sub procedure? So here is the sub procedure. I will double click the button so that I can open the code window. So when I double click, it opens the code window. So private subroutine is a sub procedure. So private subroutine, begin is the name of the button, underscore click, the click method. So what will happen if that button is clicked? Press enter and go back to the question. The question says that um, a sub write a Visual Basic program that uses a sub procedure to declare an array consisting of 5 numbers. So we need to declare an array that can store 5 numbers. So this is how we declare arrays in VB. We use dim. Then the array name, we can give the array name the name numbers, and then into bracket we provide the subscript. The subscript is how many the number of elements the array can contain. In this circumstance, we've been told there are 5. So dim numbers into bracket 5, then as integer. So these values are going to be in values of type integer. So this is how I have declared my array. So 5 is the subscript, meaning that the number of values the array can contain. I proceed. Okay, write a Visual Basic program that uses as a procedure to declare an array consisting of 5 numbers. I have done that. Accepts the numbers through the input box. So, and displays them in a list box. So therefore, this program accepts numbers through input box. So this is what we're gonna do. We will have to loop through the array. So we can use a simple looping or iteration statement like for the for next loop in VB. So we will say for counter. So that is my counter. I want to count from 1 to 5. So for counter, uh, for counter is equals to 1 to 5. do this um, in the array called numbers in index number 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the index number counter. That is index number 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you do? Assign it a value that comes from an input box. Input box, into bracket, enter a number in quotes. Enter a number in quotes. Yeah. So, um, so I have created. I am looping through an array. I think this should be number in small letter. So numbers, it is numbers. Yeah. So I think it maintains. Yeah. So numbers in position 1, that is counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will do it 5 times. It will ask me to be entering a number, and whenever a number is entered, that number is pushed to the array, to the list box. So the number is pushed here to the list box. Therefore, we'll use my list box currently is called list 1. If I click on it, you can see the name of the list box is list 1. So therefore, in the codes, I will say to add the number to the list box, I will say list 1 dot add item, because we use the add item method with the space. Then I'll provide the array name. This one, I will copy this and paste it here. So list 1 dot add item number. So what am I doing? I am adding the number that is being stored in the array called numbers into the list box. I use the dot add item method to add a value to the list box. Yeah, so far so good. So that is what happens, and then I think that is the end of the loop. So I'll have to just provide the statement next, so that the loop can always proceed to next, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me test up to that point. So I run, I begin. So this is the input box. For those who don't know me, input box. So I'll provide the first number, 1. Okay. You can see it has been added to the list box. 2. Okay. You can see. 3. Okay. 4. Okay. And finally 5. Okay. So the input box has disappeared. Why? Because we are looping only 5 times, from 1 to 5. So that is so this is the code that you are expected to write in the Knec exam, because in the Knec exam we will not design, we'll only write code. So you need to be good in declaring an array. You need to know that your code is supposed to begin with the sub procedure, that is private sub, the name of the button. You can give the button any name, it is you to choose, so long as you have underscore click method. Then create an array, dim numbers 5 as integer. Then start looping through the array using the for next loop. So for counter is equals to 1 to 5, what should we be doing? We should be taking numbers from the user and add them to the list box. So thank you. We can check another question. So that one is done. Imagine just very simple like that. We get 7 marks unless we have left something else. Let me reread the question. Write a Visual Basic program that uses a procedure. We have done that. It declares an array consisting of 5 numbers. We have done that. Accepts the numbers through input box. We have done that. Displays them in a list box. We have done that. The sub-procedure should be executed when a command button is clicked. We have done that. Good. Very simple like that, and you earn your 7 marks. Some people say maybe it's difficult. Just see these small lines of code. You just get your 7 marks. Okay, let us proceed. I will go to another one that requires writing a code. So this is question. The next one is question 2D. So this is 2D. It says, we can read it together. It says, write a Visual Basic program that initializes 2 arrays. Oh, come on, it needs arrays again, just like question 1. Okay. Write a Visual Basic program that initializes 2 arrays, price and quantity, to hold 5 values each. The program should then prompt a user to enter the 5 corresponding values into the arrays. The program computes the product of each pair of elements from the price and quantity arrays, saving the results in an array. Meaning that we are going to have another array. So other than having the price and quantity array, we may have the array called products so that it can store the results. okay, or the results array. Uh, and then displays these products in the list box. Oh, come on, a list box is coming up again. Use for next loop. At least here we have been given a hint that you're going to use for next loop. In the other question, you needed to loop through the array, even but you've not been given any hint. At least here you've been given a hint, and that I think that is why you've been given 6 marks instead of 7. So use for next loop and attach the code to a command button. Okay, let us see how we can go about it. So I think the code remains the design remains the same. If you look at this, I will always begin, and then the input is coming from the user. So what is happening is that so we shall always begin. So my button can also can still remain to be begin, and then uh, but this time round I have got 2 arrays being initialized, and then I will have a third one. So I have price and quantity to hold 5 values. So therefore, I will just, in my code, I will have this array being called the price. And then I will have the same code uh, for creating another array. And this time round, the array is called quantity. Quantity. Good, as integer 2. Uh-huh. Then I will have the final array, dim product, because we are going to store values in an array. That is what we've been told. So dim product of five values as integer 2. Good. So I have got 3 arrays. One is for price, to store price. Another one is to store quantity, and then the last one is to store the product, which is the result of the multiplication of price and quantity. Good. I've been told to use the for next loop. So here is my loop for counter. That is, I count from 1 to 5, of course. What happens? We are not dealing with numbers, but what we are doing is we are prompting someone to enter the price and also the quantity and then calculate the product. So you will say that price in index number counter, price in index number counter is being assigned the result of input box into bracket and into quotes, enter the price, enter the price. Good, I close the quote, I close this. Okay, the same will happen to quantity. So you say quantity uh, in index number counter, is being assigned uh, the value that comes from input box k, input box, open bracket, into quotes, enter the quantity, enter the quantity. Good, in close quotes, close bracket. Good. What happens after we do that? After we do that, then the array product that shows the results. Actually, let me just change it to be called results. So result. Okay, results. Okay. So I will say results on index counter, on index number counter, is being assigned the value of price, the price that is index number counter, being multiplied by quantity, quantity that is index number counter. Good. If you don't understand the story about indices, I will you can uh, invite me for an online class through Google Meet, Zoom, or any other platform, and then I can train you and explain more about what I am doing here. So maybe you're hearing about index, you don't know what index is. Yeah. Okay. So result is going to be stored in the result array. Up to that point, we have picked the value of price, or picked the value of quantity, and also the value of results have been updated. What has just not happened is that the final value of result or the product has not been sent to the list box. So therefore, I need to write code that will send it this value of results to the list box using dot list1 dot add item, and the item that I'm adding is this one, results dot results on index number counter, like that. Good. It is called a for next loop, so it will always end with the next. The private subroutine ends with end sub. So you can test the code and see. Uh, yeah. So begin. So enter the price. So the price of my product is 300. Click OK. Enter the quantity. The quantity is just 3. Okay. So 900 has been added to the list box. I'm being told to enter the price again. Remember, it is 5 times. So another price is 500, 200. Quantity is 3. So it is 600 being added to the list box. Price is 100. Quantity is just 1. Okay. So yeah, 100 is added there. 400 as price and 4 as quantity. Okay. 1600 is added there. And finally, these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us see if this with the final value. 670 being multiplied by the quantity of 3, we get 210. Oh, it has disappeared. Why? Because you finished the 5 times, 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values in the array. That is hooray. Now, these are the codes that you will have to write in your next exam paper. If you don't understand these codes, just get to me through um, just get to me through 0 7 2 5 3 2 7 8 5 6. My name is Michael. How do we put comments in VB? I've just forgotten. Anyway, it's okay. So that is how we put. That is how we. Yeah. So this is where you will get me. 0725327856. You can WhatsApp. You can call. My name is Michael. I will explain all these things to you. Okay. Let me remove my error. Just forgotten the array. How we do comments. Okay. Yep. So that is the code you're expected to provide. Good. So that was nice. Let us see if there is another one that we can deal with. Oh, come on. There's another one here. This is, let me hope you do not need arrays. Okay, let us see. This is 3D. So 3D says, write a Visual Basic program that prompts a user to enter a student score in 3 subjects. That is subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Okay. The program should then compute the average of the scores and display the results or the message, please enter numeric values on a message box when input is not numeric. Oh, come on. So we need to see if someone can enter 77, or if he enters 7 and mistakenly enters an A, that is 7A, then we should tell him that please enter numeric values. Okay. And remember, we are entering uh, three three values. We are entering 3 values. Okay. So let us proceed. Okay, so where do I begin? So I think I will always have the begin button. So my design may remain the same. Good. And then what happens? I will have a prompt program that prompts a user to enter a student score in 3 subjects. So subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Then it will compute the average. Okay. So this is what will happen. Uh, hmm. So let me just erase these and begin. So we don't have a list box, I think, from the question. So this is the code. So I will dim what? Dim score. as integer because I'm going to pick score from the user. So dim score as integer. Okay, once I dim score as integer, I will need to loop 3 times. Actually, question 1, question 2, and question 3 is about looping. Yeah. So I will say for uh, counter is equals to 1, 2, 3. What do I do? The value of score should be equals to input box into bracket and into quotes, enter uh, student, enter student score, enter student score. Good. And then um, okay. If we want to check if this value that has been entered is a number. Actually, before we check if it is a number, we must transform. Okay, let me proceed first. So I will use the function called if is numeric. If is numeric, what are we testing? If it is numeric, we are testing if the value of score is a number. So this is how we test if the value that has been entered by the user is a number. So if it is numeric, then what do? We need to have total. So I think we will initialize total here. Before the loop, we will initialize a variable called total. Actually, VB6 allows you to use variables that you have not declared because it has got implicit and explicit variable declaration. So total is equals to 0 before the beginning of the code, before the beginning of the loop. So as we are testing if score is numeric, then we can increase the value of total as total uh, total is equals to the previous value of total plus the value of score Good. So this should happen only 3 times. So this is the end of the loop. So we'll do next. Now after the end of the loop, now that is when we can calculate the average. So we can have a variable called average. Remember, it is not a must that I do dim average as integer because Visual Basic allows explicit variable declaration and implicit variable declaration. It allows you to use variables that you've not just declared. So average is equals to the total being divided by, that is over 3 because there are 3 values. And then I don't know it is being displayed, how it is getting displayed. We're being told that it is being displayed. The program should then compute the average of the scores and display the results or a message box or a message on a message box. So we're displaying as a message box. So if it is numeric, get total, and then finally uh, after the loop, of course, you will calculate the average and then use a message box. Use a message box to display the value of average. So to display the value of average. Good. But now, if it is not numeric, before the loop, if it is not numeric, then we will have else. So we will have the else part of it. So else with message box, else message box, enter numeric value, enter numeric uh, value. You close the quote, close bracket. Good. So if it is numeric, that is to check if the value that has been entered is a number, total is going to be increased. At the end of everything in the loop, now we can calculate average and display the average. Let us test and see. So begin. I'm being told I have an error. Compiler error next without for. I think I have for here. What I don't have is the end if. So let me see if end if is required. End if. Good. Let me test again. Begin. So yeah. So enter student score. So the student score is 20. Okay. 30. Okay. 40. Okay. So the project says it is 30. I don't know if it is true. Let us use 20, 20, 20. So 20, 20, 20. Good. So it is uh it is okay. So let us see what's gonna happen if we don't enter a number. So let me begin. So 2W. Okay. I'm being told there is a runtime error. So I have ended. Let me try again. Begin. E. Okay. So instead of giving me the error message, I'm being told that there is an error. So let me see. Score is equals to input box enter students score. If score is numeric, I think it is not doing the test correctly to give an error, but actually it is giving an error because it is not numeric. It would have been good if it gives out this message box. Or I stop the declaration. Let me remove the declaration and then see what's gonna happen. So R, yeah, enter numeric value. So it doesn't want me to enter to 45. It's okay. 44R, enter numeric value. So I should not have done what? I should not have declared. I should not have declared the, yeah, so you don't need the declaration so that the is numeric can work. Let me test again. Begin. If I have H or H2, then I'm told enter numeric value. If I have 3E, I'm told enter numeric value. Okay. Third one, if I have 5T, I'm told enter numeric value. I finished, the average is 0. Yeah, that is good. So this is the code that you are expected to provide when answering this question in Knec. Yeah, listen. So all the best. I will be having another program that will handle the other questions that deals with writing programs in VB. Let us just go through them. We have got this one that uses use case statement. We have got this is interpreting the VB code. We have got this one, number 6 is about writing a VB program. Use do while loop. We have got number 7. We have got this one that is supposed to use do while loop also to generate this code, this multiplication table. And we have got this one for loop. So it looks like this paper for March 2024, if you are not good in using loops, then you are doomed. So maybe I will have a session of loops, dealing with loops. Also, you can contact me to I give you this book. It is called VB by Bubo. Bubo is my name, so that you can handle lesson. You can go through lesson 9, which is about looping, because you can see that the whole of this paper the whole of this March paper is about loops in part D. Question 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, and 8D. All these questions requires you to loop. So lesson 9 is looping. The do loop, um, the exiting the loop, the for next loop, uh-huh. The nested for next loop, another one. Okay. The while when loop. Okay, yeah. So also you can contact me so that I train you on that topic through Google Meet. Otherwise, if you're physically in Nairobi, we can arrange for physical classes. So thank you so much. Let me end the session. You can always contact me. My number is 07-253-278-56. Okay, so let me end the recording.